Hello everybody, good evening, good afternoon from wherever part of the world you're watching us. Welcome to our YouTube channel, The Rajore Clan. This time round, again once more, I'm on the driving wheel, just alone. And of course, as I mentioned in my previous videos, the Queen is still taking her time, focusing on other issues which are equally important. And maybe she'll get time and come back at the right time. But for now, let's move on. Talk about moving to Germany, how you can relocate to Germany to find work. We are always exploring opportunities for for people out there. If you're trying to get work abroad, trying to change your life, trying to look for something you can do abroad, especially work. Okay, so what do we have on board today? Today we have another interesting topic. And this one is now what a loophole we identified on your applications. Some of you applied and some of you were even sending their CVs to me. They're asking me, Henry, now what do we do? They are asking me, they somewhere here, they are saying, you have to show your nationality. And I don't see my country there. Like, let's give an example of Kenya. Kenya, they were not saying Kenyan or Kenya. They were saying Kenyanish. That is a German for Kenyan. And people were confused. Now, what do we post? What do we put there? And it's one of those requirements that has an asterisk, meaning you have to post it. You have to put, you have to fill that section. Otherwise, it won't move to the next step. And I had guys who had so many problems. Some of you even shared their CVs to me on our email. Okay, so let's first talk about your CV. Or in German, it's called Lebenslauf. That's how you call it in German. I don't know whether I can pronounce it correctly. Forgive me. But that is the first thing we are going to talk about today. How to craft it and how it should fit in on the teaching role that you're applying for. So the first focus, as always, the normal CV procedure is your teaching experience. If you have the language certificates, and any other cultural immersion that shows that you understand German life on the learning environment. And as always, you have to structure your CV in the chronological order, starting with most experience first, clear heading, with a concise language, and make sure that you think professionally. Guys, think what? Professionally, not flashy. Not decorate your CVs, I don't know, put a lot of images and stuff like that. Yeah, that is the first most important aspect of your CV when you're applying for a role as a teacher in Germany. Yeah, and friends, the other important aspect, and I'd say it's a sad thing today, is that imagine if you apply, if you're applying for a role as a teacher, a geography teacher, or a religious, a mathematics teacher, or a CRE teacher, for instance. And do you think how many CRE teachers are there in the world? So many of them, and with more experience than you, for instance. But then how do you bypass all this? There's something called the keywords. The keywords in your CV. Make sure that keywords in your CV match the job description. Yeah, make sure that, for instance, you can talk about classroom management. You can talk about lesson planning. You can talk about student engagement. Is this what is in the job description? If it matches that, if what you have in your CV matches what is in the job description, then you're on the good. I mean, you are on the right trajectory. But if that is the opposite, then it means your CV will not even pass the first stage of screening. So you will definitely get a regret as soon as you apply. I'm talking about a situation where people would apply for a role and within 10, 15 minutes or a day later, they're having a regret email from the recruiter. It didn't even, I'm telling you for sure, maybe we'll discuss this another day, is that some of these CVs the recruiters never even have to see them. You just apply and it drops on the ATS system, and it's just spewed out. And that's it. You never interacted with a human being. You worked so hard on your CV, but there's just one or two things that you didn't do right. You did not take your time to match the CVs with the job description. And as always, I'm saying, as always, ensure that you in your achievement section, talk about quantify your achievements. Talk about what did you do? You improved your student attendance by 20%, 30%. That's a figure. You led intercultural exchange impact with 5 European schools. For instance, that shows your international exposure. And the numbers and outcomes make your CV tangible and creates memorable. So in this case, you have to consider these aspects going forward. The other thing is the German application email. How are you supposed to write an email to a recruiter in Germany or a German? For instance, there's usually the subject line, and then there's the greeting, and then there's the body aspect. So on the subject line, you have to be very specific. For example, you can say application as a German teacher. Yeah, your name, you write there. And then on the greeting section, you can say, if you know the recruiter's name, for instance, you can use it, say, Sehr geehrter Frau Müller, sehr guter Herr Schmidt, that's in German, like. If not, you can go with the formal dear, sir, or madam. Then get to the body section where you're going to be talking about, start with your purpose, mention where you found the job, highlight your 1 to 2 strengths. Yeah, that is where it goes right. I mean, wrong if you do not. You have to show the recruiter that you have. This is where your power, your strength lies. You can mention attachments. You can, of course, attach the CVs and the certificates, and always end with the mid-friendly grouping, followed by your full name. Again, my German friends, if I didn't pronounce it correctly, forgive me. I'm still learning. Yeah. Perfect. So as I was saying, you have now crafted your CVs, your emails, and now you're ready to apply for the roles. By the way, do not apply for one role and keep quiet and say, now I applied for a role as I've used geography for long. Now let me use maybe an ECD or a kindergarten, a kita teacher in Germany. You applied for that and then you are chill, you relax. That now that I've applied for this role, then let me sit and wait for the outcome. I think that's wrong, because what is more important is that you apply for at least 5 roles. Or people who've gotten jobs tell you that by the time they landed their first interview, they had applied for more than 300 or 400 roles. And by the time even the recruiter talked to them, they had optimized their CVs, optimized their LinkedIn profiles, and they were all over applying until, God forbid, losing hope. I think that's not what I mean. But you do not stop applying. Don't say that, oh, you told us that teachers are needed. Tell us whoever gotten a job. It's maybe you didn't follow all these procedures, all this step-by-step process of application. Keep tabs and be alert on what is needed and how you can apply for these roles and what is the process. That is one area that is really key going forward. So my next point is now that you've known that there's a role, what happens? There's a teaching role in Germany. So this is what you need to do. You need to do a follow-up. Especially now that you've applied for the role, you have to wait for 10 to 14 days. If they don't get back, ladies and gentlemen, send a polite inquiry. Find out what's up. Dear Mrs. Muller, for instance, I'd like to confirm if you received my application. You know, there are so many other people who applied for the same role. If you did that, if you write an email like that, then they'll, okay, there's this person here in Namibia or in South Africa who is very much interested in this role. And you see, he or she has even written an email, follow-up email to see if we received the application. That one will make you stand above the rest. And the other one is how to prepare for interviews. Once you've applied for a role, expect questions about your teaching styles, about your student motivation, classroom discipline, and then you have to show your passion for both teaching and cultural exchange. That is really key. These are the aspects that will be monitored. That will be assessed on your interview. So once you've applied, don't just relax. think about how you can explain to the recruiter your teaching style, how you did the student motivation aspect, how did you do the classroom discipline and all that. Then the other one is to build your network. You can join. I told you last time that you need to join the Facebook. By the way, Facebook is a big deal here, over here. There's a common one, teachers, I think professional teachers in Berlin. You can connect with the international schools, and then you can follow the German educational associations online. If you connect to these people, you'll be opening your doors. Sometimes these roles that they advertise on their platforms. So once you are there, you are already at best place to get the role, because you must have seen it before everyone else, because you're a member and you are always interacting with them. So this other part is the common mistakes or the pitfalls that you need to avoid. Yeah, do not do this thing called one size fits all CV, where you have this application, where you have this, what do you call it, a CV somewhere that is always like you are a German teacher. I mean, you are a teacher who's been teaching in Kenya, in Uganda, in where, Saudi Arabia, or in Dubai, or wherever, or in Ghana, Nigeria. And here you are with this CV that you've been teaching for 10 years, 15 years, with a master's in education, for instance, and you're here asking you, applying for a role as a teacher for physical education or PE in Germany. And then they just go there, apply, drop your CV. The same CV that you applied for a role for a geography, another role somewhere 2-3 months ago. It won't go anywhere. Again, these are the ones that you get regrets in, 10 minutes later, or as soon as you apply, or maybe a day later. Then the other aspect that is very key is the grammar or the spelling errors. You need to be very, very attentive. But these days, with the advent of AI, I think this one should be like a non-existent issue. Why do you still struggle with the spelling when there's AI, which you can chat GPT, the LLMs, the large language models. You can use them to improve your grammar, your English, and make sure that whatever you're writing is perfect. Then there's also this aspect of ignoring the cultural context. Yeah, you can show how you understand the German educational values, like say punctuality, structure, and collaboration. Like in some of our videos, previous videos, we mentioned, I think mostly by the Queen of Clan. There's this aspect we're talking about, German punctuality. Like if you cannot keep time in Germany, then you can find something else. The members of the Rajori clan, and who are now aspiring to come to Germany as teachers, we cannot wait to welcome you. When you come to Germany, ladies and gentlemen, please take some time to talk to us as well. We can hang out together and share your passion. Some of you who came over here with the Chance and Carter have even come forward, and we did an interview with them, and they spoke about the experience and all that. If you land an interview and you land a job here as a teacher, please also let us know so that we can interview or talk to you on our channel as well, to motivate others. That we are not just yapping here. What we are talking about is also creating change in the society where we come from. Thank you so much for watching us, and I hope that you found this video very helpful, and you are going to apply whatever we've shared today, and make sure that by the time you land the interview, the recruiter comes, or you get to the interview level, you give it your best. I believe and trust in you, and of course some people have done it, and why not you? I know you can as well cruise the interview. So thank you so much for watching us, and thank you so much for supporting the Rajori clan. And as I said in the beginning, the goal is 50,000 by end of this year. Let's make it, let's do it, and thank you so much. Adios. See you in the next video. Ciao, auf Wiedersehen.